What you're seeing could be one of the most disturbing events ever captured in the forest, but it's not the only one. In the forest, anything terrifying can happen, so get ready, because today we're going through the most disturbing encounters ever captured in the woods. But this video is different. We'll start with the least terrifying video until we reach the peak of terror. So take it as a challenge. Try to make it to the final level without getting scared. And if you do, you subscribe to the channel. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 10. In this case, we don't start with a video, but with a mysterious photo that was taken in the Klamath region by a group of campers using a night vision camera. Take a look. The photo became disturbing because many people connected the dark figure to the legend of Sasquatch. And what makes the case more interesting is the location. The Klamath region has been linked to Bigfoot stories for years, especially because of its dense forests, remote areas, and long history of reported sightings. Of course, the photo alone is not enough to confirm what was really there, but that is exactly what keeps this case open. So what do you think was captured here? A person, an animal, or something else? Number 9. Maybe the previous photo wasn't that shocking, but this time it's not a photo, it's a video. A video filmed in Idaho that could be proof that a Sasquatch may still be hiding somewhere in the forests. Watch this. What made this footage get attention is that many people believe the figure was too massive to be just a person in a suit. Others also focused on the amount of detail on its body, saying that those features made the video harder to dismiss. But not everyone was convinced. Some viewers suggested it could simply be another hoax, especially because Bigfoot sightings often appear online without enough context to verify what was really recorded. So the question remains open. Was this really something unexplained in the Idaho wilderness, or just another staged Bigfoot video? Number 8. Alright, enough Bigfoots in the forest. At this spot, the tension rises a little, because what you're about to see next might give you nightmares. Watch this. This video was recorded on September 5th, near a rarely used trail in the Monongahela National Forest in West Virginia. The story says that the man filming was walking back to his camp alone when he noticed someone on the trail. At first, he thought it was just another hiker, but something about the situation felt wrong. What makes this case disturbing is the sound at the end. Some people described it as a rough, almost human laugh, but the poor audio quality makes it hard to tell what it really was. The most likely explanation is that this was a real person, maybe someone lost, under the influence of something, or even someone trying to scare hikers in the area. But because the video is low quality and the audio is distorted, the whole moment ends up feeling much more disturbing than it probably was. Still, if you were alone in that forest, would you keep walking forward? Number 7. This is where the list starts becoming harder to dismiss, because what happens here feels genuinely unsettling. The clip was recorded at night in a wooded area of Georgia near a small river far from the road. Some hikers were walking alone through the darkness when they came across something that would make anyone nervous. Just watch this.
They're not close? Crazy, my guy. You scaring people like that.
Get out, bro. Just get out.
Fucking drugs brought you, my nigga.
My nigga's naked. Oh, shit. Oh!
The video was captured while the group was walking through a dark trail with flashlights. At some point, they heard movement coming from the water, so they decided to get closer. The strangest part is that the man didn't seem to be crossing the river. From the way the moment was described, he seemed to be washing himself, and in some parts of the video, something white can be seen on his face, almost like soap. So the most likely explanation is not paranormal at all. This may have been a vulnerable person, maybe someone homeless, someone living near the woods, or simply someone who entered the river to clean himself away from everyone. And that makes the clip uncomfortable in a different way. Maybe there was no monster, no ghost, and no mystery. Maybe it was just a man trying to be alone, until a group of strangers arrived with a camera and a flashlight. Still, nobody knows who he was, why he was in that river at that hour, or what would have happened if the group had gotten closer. Number 6. Now let's change completely. We go from the uncomfortable reality of the previous video to something that feels much more paranormal. In this clip, a simple soccer game between friends suddenly turns into a moment none of them seem able to explain. Just watch what happens when the ball disappears into the darkness. The video was recorded during an improvised soccer match in an open field at night. The group was playing in the dark when one of them kicked the ball too hard, sending it toward an area covered by trees where visibility was almost zero. That is when the situation became strange. One of the friends went to recover the ball, but before he could get it, the ball was suddenly sent back from the dark area, as if someone or something had kicked it from the shadows. So what could this have been? A staged video made to go viral? That is definitely possible. It could have been another person hidden in the dark or someone from the group helping create the moment. But if it was not staged, then the question becomes much harder to answer. Who or what was waiting in that darkness? Number 5. We've reached the middle of the list, and in this case, you'll see a video that feels almost spectral. It was recorded at night on a trail in Tucumán, Argentina, while two cyclists were riding downhill through the darkness.
Hombre, te soltá, cuidado. ¿Ah? Mírase sola, mírase por acá, weón. ¿Ah? Me da cuidado. No se me espanto, cuidado. Cuidado. Juan. ¿Ah? No, es que grabado.
What makes this clip unsettling is the place and the timing. The cyclists were riding through a dark wooded path with very limited visibility, so anything outside the light of the bike could easily appear and disappear in seconds. The most reasonable explanation is that it was a real person standing near the trail, maybe someone from the area, someone waiting there, or even someone trying to scare people passing by. But the strange part is that one of the cyclists reportedly greeted the figure because he thought it was a woman. Later, he started doubting whether what he saw was actually a real person. And that is what makes the video uncomfortable. Because if it was just someone standing there, what was that person doing alone in the middle of the trees at that hour? Number 4. I honestly wanted to place this at number 1 because of how disturbing it looks, but there is one detail I'll mention at the end that made me decide to leave it at number 4. This video starts with a man named Ansor Roca recording what was supposed to be a normal camping trip in the forest. He had visited the same place before, and everything seemed like it was going to be a quiet day outdoors. But then, while he was inside his tent, someone appeared outside, and the situation changed instantly. Watch this.
Leave me alone, please, okay?
Oh, I'll leave you with my husband. He's right over here. Maybe he's gonna get that message through your thick head.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey.
okay? I'm just gonna go and get him. He's gonna kick you out of here in
go out.
seconds.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, and he just got out of jail. Ooh, he's gonna enjoy taking a piece of like you right out of this forest.
At this point, the situation stops feeling like a normal camping video. The woman acts as if he has no right to be there, and instead of asking him to leave calmly, she becomes aggressive and threatens to bring her husband. That is when Ansor decides the safest thing is to leave the tent behind. But before getting completely away from the area, he hides behind a tree, and that is when he sees who the woman was talking about. From this moment, the fear is no longer just about the tent. Because if these people had already found his campsite, there was another problem. His car was parked somewhere nearby, completely exposed. And when he finally reaches it, he realizes the situation was even worse than he thought.
Walking towards my car, but it completely ruined it.
If this were real, it would be terrifying because this would not be a ghost, a creature, or a strange figure in the woods. It would be a direct attack by real people in the middle of the forest. The gasoline makes it even more dangerous because starting a fire near a campsite can easily turn into something much bigger. And the destroyed car would mean that escaping the area was no longer simple. But here's the detail I mentioned at the beginning. This video is at number 4 because, even though it is impressive and disturbing to watch, it is clearly act. The reactions, the timing, and the way every scene escalates feel more like a staged viral horror clip than a real camping incident. Still, as a horror scenario, it works. Because being alone in the forest while strangers destroy your camp and your only way out is something that would make anyone panic. Number 3. We come from a staged video in the previous spot, but now we come across a real video recorded in Patagonia. This was captured by a well-known TikTok cyclist who often records his rides through some of the most beautiful and isolated landscapes in Argentina. But on this ride, something appeared on the side of the road that made the video feel completely different. Watch what happens when he rides alone through that remote path.
Mirá. Es hermoso este caminito para pasear, despejarse un poco. Acá. Esto sería el canal que lleva. Uy, un Doberman.
This video was recorded on May 12, 2020, during the cyclist's first ride after the COVID lockdown. What was supposed to be a peaceful return to nature became one of the most disturbing clips he has ever shared. After the video went viral, thousands of people tried to explain what had been captured. Some believed it was simply a person standing near the road, but because the area looked so remote and isolated, that explanation did not convince everyone. Others suggested it could have been a mannequin or a doll placed there on purpose to scare whoever passed by. But what made people look closer was the appearance of the figure. The clothing seemed unusual, almost from another time, and the face had strange features that many viewers found difficult to connect with an ordinary person. So what was it doing there, alone in the middle of nowhere? Was it a person, a prank, or something much harder to explain? Number 2. Now we reach a video where a man would come face to face with one of the most terrifying creatures you could ever find in the forest. The clip was reportedly recorded in a wooded area of northern Ontario, Canada, near an old hunting platform built on a tree. And at first, the man seems to be using the platform to observe the forest from above until something appears below him. Watch carefully. At this point, the situation already feels wrong. The figure is tall, thin, and has long limbs, which is why many people compared it to something like a Wendigo. The most disturbing part comes when the figure seems to realize that the man is above it. And what the creature does next is what makes this clip feel like a nightmare. This is the kind of clip that looks terrifying at first, but the more you watch it, the more it starts to feel like a horror scene made for the internet. But what do you think? Was this just a staged nightmare filmed to go viral, or did this man really capture something climbing toward him in the forest? Number 1. And now, we've reached number 1 on this list. A video that doesn't show a terrifying creature or a direct attack, but something that might be even more disturbing, because this could happen to anyone riding through a forest trail. The man recording was driving his ATV through a narrow path between the trees, thinking it was just another normal ride. But in just a few seconds, he was about to realize that someone had turned that trail into a trap. Watch this. In the video, it is hard to understand what happened at first, but the person who posted it explained that someone had placed a wire between 2 trees right across the trail. And the only reason he survived is because the wire reportedly hit the lower part of his helmet. If it had hit his neck, the ending could have been fatal. That is what makes this case so disturbing. This was not a strange shadow, a creature, or a paranormal encounter. It was something placed there on purpose. And sadly, traps like these have been reported in trail areas before, often by people who did not want motorcycles, ATVs, or riders passing through certain places. But no matter the reason, putting a wire across a trail is not a warning. It is something that could seriously injure or kill someone. So now I have to ask, was this just a reckless attempt to scare riders away, or was someone in that forest actually trying to cause a tragedy? Level 0. Before you leave, this is probably the image that brought you here. This photo was captured in a swampy area of Louisiana, near a canal used to enter the woods. The trail camera had been installed by hunters to capture wild hogs and coyotes, but unfortunately, it had not been set up to record video. It was only set up to take photos whenever it detected movement, something people often do to save battery when leaving a camera in the woods for several days. And that is why this case became so strange. The camera captured this man only once. There was no video, no second photo, and no clear sign of where he came from or where he went. The most reasonable explanation is that he was a real person walking through that Louisiana swamp, possibly checking traps, working in the area, or using protective clothing because of the mud, insects, or smell. But nobody nearby recognized him. And when the hunters returned to the location, they reportedly found no tools, no clear footprints, and nothing that explained what he was doing there. That is where the darker theory begins. Some believe the camera didn't capture a lost worker or a random hunter, but someone doing something he never wanted recorded. So what do you think? Was this just a man passing through the Louisiana swamp, or did this trail camera interrupt something much darker? Now I want to know, which case was the most disturbing for you? Was number 1 really the scariest, or would you put another video at the top? Let me know in the comments. And if this video kept you watching until the end, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.